the show continues with a man who does his own show over across town on the Upper West Side. Actually, no, it's more Hollywood. Cafe Europa, and actually a lot of us have been lucky enough to do it. And it's nice just doing different shows around town, and Paul has always been very generous to us. He also is a strange and eccentric storyteller, and that's the way, we like it. Mr. Paul Candice.
Thank you, thank you. Tonight's story has a title. My title is Learning How to Be in the Not Knowing and the I Don't Know. Some of you may know I work for Neilsen, a big corporation. They're the same company that does the TV ratings. Well, I work in the movie section, giving movie surveys all across the United States. A week ago, Wednesday, I was sent home in the middle of the day. I was told by John Hall, my boss's boss's boss, that I had been monitored, and the monitor said I put down something different than what was said. It was the difference between two words, probably and definitely. I was assured if all is cleared up, I would be paid for my time away. I was told we have to reach the respondent, the one who did the survey, and talk to them, and that may take a few days. Wow, sent home. Oh, the drama that played out in my head. Called a lot of people to get advice, as well as unload my overburdened brain with what just happened. Quick, think. What happened? Well, she did sound a lot younger than 19, almost childlike and very, very slow to respond. That was the clincher. The slowness in her responses meant I had enough time to type in the right answer. Over and over it played in my mind. Since there were so many probablys, the monitor must have heard that when she said definitely. Must have. Wow. I have to fight Neilsen, a big corporation, a big corporate machine. How could anyone ever be wrong against the monitor? I always imagined their word would be like gold. No questions asked, but there were questions being asked this time around, and it wasn't just anybody. It was me, Paul Candice, with my head on the chopping block. So, one of my friends had some great advice, and that was to stay focused on the not knowing and the I don't know. What? How? How does one do that? I just kept focusing on those phrases over and over again. I don't know, and being in the not knowing. That kept me out of the I'm fired, and also being so cocky that I was way fine with it all. Kept me right in the middle. So Thursday goes by, then all day Friday, and I get a call on my answering machine, and I get a call at 4:12 p.m. on Friday to come into work on Sunday and work your usual shift from noon to 6. Terrence or Michael, my boss and my boss's boss, will explain to you what happened. So sheepishly, I go into work and see the two bosses there, and they say, "Oh, hi, Paul. We need to talk to you and explain what happened. It's a little busy now. Why don't you start dialing? We'll talk to you a little later." I say, "Okay," and I sit down and go to work like usual. My head wanted to explode. Everything was really being downplayed to the max. So I just flowed with it and kept my mouth shut until 5:45 p.m., 15 minutes before I leave for the day. I had to ask. So since Terrence, my boss, was not around, I went to his boss's office and told him, "Look, I leave at 6. Do you want to talk to me before I leave?" Michael was like, "Oh yeah, sit down." He told me I had to sign an incident report and that they got a hold of the respondent. They did not find the respondent credible. Michael went on to say a lot of times if someone says the wrong age for the survey, they get very nervous when called back about the survey. Actually, the respondent sided with the monitor, which I knew was wrong. He told me not to worry about any of it, and you still have your job, and you're not fired, and it'll all be the same as a low production incident report. He did say usually in these cases, people do not come back. But since it was someone they felt hard to believe, we felt that they were lying. I did not get one survey that day. If you're not in a good mood of any kind at all, you usually push people away, and no one wants to do one. Wow, 2 words, probably and definitely, almost caused me to lose my job. Why? I guess because those surveys represent thousands of Americans across the United States at that age and gender, so they have to be right. They chose what they knew of me from May of this year and made it all okay. I feel that my general personality and demeanor helped me also to get my job back, but during the times I knew I was right, I could only think of those in jail, falsely accused. all the DNA testing and people getting out of jail that had wrongly been accused. I stayed in the not knowing and the I don't know, and it did help me get through it all. Today I got 5 surveys. That should be the end of my story, right? Oh, well, yesterday I got another big dose of sitting in the I don't know and the not knowing. I went to my mechanic because my oil needed to be changed, at least what was left of it. So he changed the oil, or I should say put oil in, and in any way, and that's scary. I'm going to need a new engine, or a miracle grinding sound is still there. He says if the new oil pump works and the noise goes away, you're okay. Otherwise, you're going to need a new engine. There is a 50-50 chance it could go either way. The oil pump, $500, a new engine, thousands of dollars. So, a friend picks me up and takes me home for 4 hours. I sit in my apartment in the not knowing and the I don't know. I'm getting pretty good at that now because it just happened recently. So, yeah, I'm practicing the not knowing and the I don't know. Then I added a metaphysical exercise of seeing the mechanic saying over and over again, "You're really lucky, you're really lucky, you're really lucky." Then I sent the famous white light of God, which I have mentioned in other stories I've told, to my new oil pump. My mechanic called and said, "You're really lucky, you don't need a new engine."
Oh. Thank you, Paul Candice. Thank you. I think that's very Thich Nhat Hanh. I don't know.